Last time on Square Roots, our hero's rivalry with Whisper heats up. Some traders cool off in the dark woods, and we all feel lukewarm about fishing. Will this week's adventure be sizzling hot, or will our game freeze up? Stay tuned for Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast.
Everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I am joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Hey, it's me.
John, I can't think of a nickname because I haven't played this game very much. Brandon.
Pie Muncher!
Pie Master. It's Pie
Pie
Master.
Muncher.
I will
Pie
be
Master,
Pie Master.
Okay.
Pie Man.
Pie Muncher.
Yeah.
And Vanessa.
You can't be Pie Muncher 2 weeks in a row, John. That's against the rules.
Wait, was I Pie Muncher last time? No, I wasn't.
Yes.
Was it? Oh.
Guys.
I'm Vanessa.
Guys, I said and Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa.
Is there a Vanessa here?
Vanessa. Vanessa.
That was beautiful, John.
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about classic RPGs. In this case, we're talking about Fable.
Hey.
Fable.
Sounds like a fairy tale.
Fable. Kind
And
of.
when you say that we play it, Jim, do you mean that we all play it, or just some?
Usually it's all. Well, usually it's all. In the last couple of games, it's been kind of hit or miss. I will say that in this case, I have not played very much of this game.
Huh. So you're being a real Matthew Van Zant.
Yeah, I'm not protesting it like Matthew protested Grandia, but I just haven't played it.
Jim, do as I say, not as I do.
But all you ever say is like, burp, fart, my butt, my butt.
It's true. All I ever say is burp, fart, my butt, my butt.
I had a revelation about Fable and Grandia today as I was playing it. I think Fable isn't very good, but it's really fun, and Grandia is really good, but not fun. Like, when it actually comes to the mechanics of playing the game.
I can agree with that.
But can a game be good if it's not fun?
I think
What then
so.
is a game?
Whoa.
I
Burp,
mean,
fart, my butt, my butt.
there are plenty of novels that are very good, but not fun. For example, when I read Lolita, I screamed and threw it across the room. But it's a brilliant
Yowza.
novel.
But
It's
a
not
novel
fun
is
to
not
read.
a game. A
Isn't
game is
it?
to be played. It is an active form of entertainment. A novel is to be read. It is a passive form of entertainment.
Oh, I disagree. When you read a novel, you create a whole world in your mind. It's very active indeed.
I think there's a lot of Grandia I liked, but I didn't like playing it. And that's what I was getting at.
The encounter rate was too high.
Yes, and it took too long, and the map was terrible, and it was zoomed in.
Have you guys considered this important fact? Burp, fart, my butt, my butt.
Are you communicating as your hero does in the game Fable by Lionhead Entertainment?
Yes, there's an exclamation point over my butt right now.
Oh, yeah, there is.
I've got an audience. I can
What does
hear my
that
children
mean?
cackling in the background. Knock it off, Connor.
Did you hear what Dad said about his butt?
Hush. You have to hush.
Whenever Matthew's butt sees someone, it does that Metal Gear Solid alarm and an exclamation point.
Wait. How would a butt see someone
With its one eye.
with its that's what I was looking for, John.
The brown eye.
Oh,
My
there it
head
is.
eyes are blue, but my butt eye is
Yeah.
bleach white.
Let's just...
Your-
Oh, wow.
Your rear eye.
That's right, my rear eye.
Rear eye for the right guy.
That would be a beautiful show. It's sort of like The Bachelorette, only The Bachelorette instead.
Oh, nice.
Who will Vanessa give her backstage pass to?
I'm just not sure they're here for the right reasons.
They actually prefer front stuff. I know it.
Oh, God. I apologize, listeners, friends of listeners, family
This
of
is
listeners.
going well after the episode, right at the end of the credits with like 4 warnings.
I'm glad I'm leaving soon.
I'm glad you're here for this, Jim.
Yeah, me too. It's great to have you back. Without you, we never talk about butt stuff. So,
True.
yeah.
See, I didn't even initiate it either, did I?
Yeah, but you
I
inspired.
kind of did, maybe.
You do. It's just your face.
I'll turn my video chat off.
So before we play a video game one chunker at a time and talk about it, maybe we should head into the level up section of the podcast where we level up.
Yeah.
We should
First,
do that.
Jim, because Jim has to disappear back to his home planet.
I do. I need to take off here pretty soon, but I will talk about one thing that I did as my level up. I read an entire novel.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Do you mean
I read
like
a whole book.
A novella?
No, a book, like a big book. It was like a 600-page book.
Wait, you mean like a graphic novel?
No, like a word novel.
Whoa. With pictures?
No pictures.
Oh my God.
Did it have burps and farts and butts?
It did talk about butts, but in a really sad way.
What?
You'll have to read the book. I read a book called The Outsider by Stephen King. Stephen King's new novel. It came out like 2 weeks ago. John, why'd you groan?
I didn't groan. That was a Matthew groan.
Matthew, why'd you groan?
I don't know.
You don't like Stephen King?
Oh, yeah, no, I actually don't like Stephen King. He is a trash author for stupid people.
Oh.
That's not true. He's America's greatest storyteller.
No, he's really not.
But I read his new novel called The Outsider. It's about a terrible crime, and then the man who gets arrested for it, they have all this evidence against, but he also has a rock solid alibi, so it would appear that he has been in 2 places at once.
Impossible.
Yeah, so the whole book is about how did this happen, and did he really commit the crime? And it's got some spooks, and it's got some crime procedural stuff. I liked it a lot.
Does the dog talk? That's the one with the talking golden retriever.
There's a talking Saint Bernard, and it's...
Duh.
But no, wait, there's never a talking dog. Cujo doesn't talk, he just bites
Cameron
people.
was in one of the movies.
Are you talking about, what are you...
Left Behind?
Air Bud?
Stephen
Kirk
King is
Cameron.
not the author of the Left Behind series.
Was he in the Tommy Knockers? I don't remember Kirk Cameron being in any Stephen King movies.
I'm kidding,
The
guys.
Stand?
It's a Dean Koontz book that I'm talking about.
Oh, the one with the...
Because they're equally crappy.
The mutated dog. You shut up. Dean Koontz. Dean Koontz isn't fit to lick the boots of Stephen King.
Book snob.
Actually, I don't know. I've never read a Dean Koontz book.
Book snob. Book
I went
snob.
back a few years ago and tried to read some Dean Koontz, thinking because I loved it when I was younger, thinking like, I bet this holds up. Nope.
You know what? I take that back. I read a Dean Koontz book once, and it was about like angels, and it was trash.
Whoa.
It was a
star
terrible book.
Andrew Garfield.
No,
I think you mean Tony Award winner Andrew Garfield.
no. Andrew Garfield is above this material. This is Kirk Cameron material. This Dean Koontz book.
The book I am talking of is called The Watchers. And there was a movie that was very bad, and then there was a sequel that was just the movie again, but this time with Kirk Cameron. It was just the same thing.
Was Corey Haim in that movie?
Maybe it was Corey Haim. I don't know. I was like 5.
Oh man, I gotta Google that now. Wait, no, I don't. I have to leave.
Hey, I'm already
Wait,
working
it
on
was
it. Don't worry.
it was Corey Haim. It was Corey Haim. I was right.
Whoa.
And on that
Wow.
note, I'm gonna take off.
All right. Thanks for your input, Jim.
Yeah, bye, Jim.
We'll
Bye,
miss you.
guys. I hope you have fun talking about Fable. I'll be back with, and I'll be caught up on the next episode.
But wait, you didn't level up.
I did too. I read Stephen King book.
Oh, you called that a level up? Sorry.
Fuck you. Fuck you,
Love
Matt.
you, Jim.
Bye, guys.
We miss
Bye,
you.
Jim.
Bye.
Jim. Bye.
So Jim read a book about twins. John, how did you level up?
I saw the movie Twins starring Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, I did not.
Oh.
Good for you, because that would be a real rough thing to have actually seen.
I leveled up. Oh, wait, there's something I really wanted to say for this level up, and
You saw Solo.
No, I haven't seen Solo yet. I'm seeing that in a second. Wait,
In
what
a
did
second?
I do? Well, not in a
How are you going to
second,
see a whole movie in 1 second?
I leveled up by playing Overwatch again,
Nice.
which I have not played in a while, so I had to install a 22 gigabyte update on 2 PS4s because my
Yikes.
buddy was over, so we were over just trying to get it to work, and it eventually did. So I tried out some new heroes like Moira and Bridget, and was terrible at them, so just went back to playing as Lucio and Reinhardt because that was the only way I wasn't just dying all the time. Those games I think require a lot of commitment and are not the sort of game you can drop into and have fun, which is kind of a problem because I like dropping into games and having fun and not spending my whole life playing them like my buddies are.
I had thought that was supposed to be the appeal of Overwatch, that it was more accessible, but perhaps that's over now.
They keep changing characters and now they're all weird, and it's like you have to take a couple hours to get used to their new skills and stuff. So it's weird because you can't just go back and play your old favorites because they're different every time. If you don't play it if you play it like once every year, like I am.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah. They've totally changed Mercy. They changed Lucio a little bit, but he was pretty much Lucio and Reinhardt didn't change that much, so it wasn't that bad. But like Mercy was my go-to, and she's totally different now.
Yeah.
There's new levels and stuff that I like that were pretty cool. That game is gorgeous, and it's fun. I just don't have the kind of time that I think it demands of someone.
You gotta play them classic RPGs.
I do, and I like playing those classic RPGs. And I had some poll fun with Square Roots on the Patreon, but we'll talk about that at the end of the podcast.
I haven't seen the poll, actually.
Poll fun like at a strip club.
It involves what game we will be playing next.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought this was our last series. You guys told me we were done.
No, we told you were done, Matt.
Yes.
Oh, why do you sound so excited about that, John?
Because I've always wanted to feast on the forbidden flesh.
The trifecta has been chosen, and one must be excluded.
Oh, no. All right. Well, Matthew, how did you level up?
You know what? Did I talk about reading the John Scalzi book?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll do that. I read a book by a John Scalzi, who I am a big fan of. He is a writer of such books as The Old Man's War and Fuzzy Nation and Lockout. And I believe Red Shirts. A lot of people liked Red Shirts a lot.
Is that like a Star Trek parody kind of book?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And he had a new novel out called newish, came out a couple years ago, called The Collapsing Empire. And it's a little more space opera-y than he's written in the past, and it's very enjoyable. It is about far future humanity and faster than light travel collapsing and a massive space empire falling to pieces. And it's good. It has his signature great characterization, and he's got a lot of humor that comes off.
I like humor.
Yeah, it comes off very well, so it's not just dry, exposition about how a spaceship go work. It is really entertaining, and you start to really like the characters. Like the corporate ship owner that curses up a storm and tries to fuck every guy she meets, and is very sex positive. And the shy, nerdy nerd guy that is a stupid idiot. I don't know. But it was really good. It was the first in a series. The second one comes out in a few months, which is why I purchased and read this one, and I'm really excited to read the second one. It's, I believe, going to be a trilogy, which is good. And if anybody's listening and any of that sounds interesting to you, The Collapsing Empire or Red Shirts, or Old Man's War is one of my top 5 books of all time. It's amazing. That one's about a future Earth where we've expanded into the galaxy and are at war with dozens, if not hundreds, of other species, and are repurposing our senior citizens as soldiers in clone bodies.
All
and
right.
if that sounds like it's going to get wacky and they're going to have a lot of sex, you're right. Anyway, I guess that's it. So, Vanessa.
Yeah.
You ready to do the quest log?
No.
How did you level up?
The whole world's got Ocean's 8 fever, a movie which I have not seen, but I understand that the time has come for ladies to be robbing for themselves. So I picked up a board game called How to Rob a Bank and learned all about it.
That sounds illegal.
What? Is your board game just involving going to a bank and robbing it?
Well, there's also little movement cards and things like that, but yeah, pretty
Vanessa.
much. Mm-hmm.
Vanessa, as your attorney, I'm going to recommend that you do not admit on the podcast that you have robbed a bank.
Oh, Matt, I didn't. I tried to, but I was not very good at this game. We played 3 rounds of it, and in none of them did I manage to steal everything from the bank that my heart desired. So it was pretty sad. It's a fun game.
Is that the one that, hey, is that the one that your cute friend dropped all over the ground? Hey!
No, she dropped scruples all over the ground. I had my hands full, and she offered to hold the scruples box for me. And I said, oh, thank you so much. And she grasped the top lid, but not the bottom, and it fell onto the floor.
The best part about that picture is that your door was being held open by a 6-pack.
It is, yeah. Well,
and also that Vanessa, instead of helping her friend pick up all these scruples, was like, hold on a second, stay right there. I'm going to take out my phone and click. There we go.
You know what? Life is full of precious memories that you don't want to forget. And
that one was a little blurry. 1 second.
Yeah.
Let me try again.
Oop, you blinked. Let's try this again.
Yeah, be sure you smile.
I'll take an Instagram one. I want this to be a little different.
Let me choose a filter. So
Right.
We played that. We played Scruples. It was a good board game, How to Rob a Bank, good for people who are not necessarily gamers, which these friends aren't necessarily. So I wanted something that would be accessible, good for 3 players, because I only have 2 friends and I will not accept any more. So it was a good choice. How to Rob a Bank. Maybe consider it.
Thank you, Vanessa. 3 friends, last name withheld.
Wait, did I say 3 friends? I meant 2, including myself. I'm the third.
Oh, right. Yes. Sorry. Vanessa, 2 friends, I can't even say this. Let's move on.
That's why we have to get rid of one of the podcast hosts. I only do activities with 2 other people.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. I know what I said, and I meant it.
Vanessa likes to be satisfied.
I just like sandwiches. What's wrong with that?
For anybody that's curious as to what's going on in the video chat, John is doing the double fist jerk-off motion.
That's what I always do when my friends say they're going out with some buddies. I always do that. That's my Moving on to the quest log.
Quest frog.
No, that frog is racist.
Oh, right.
We won't give him a redemption arc or a TV show on ABC.
Nope. That time has passed.
He'd just throw it away anyway.
Everyone be learning their lessons. It doesn't pay off, monetarily, to hire assholes to be on your TV shows.
It's a lesson that has to continually be reinforced, though. It's really insane. Did you guys see the CrossFit guy thing? Because that one just slayed me. I was
Yeah.
like, what are you fucking doing? What are you talking
what
about?
happened? Who's the CrossFit guy?
Okay, I'll give you the short. There's some indie pride parade thing going on, and well, obviously it was a Pride Parade, but some CrossFit gym in Indianapolis, whatever, was going to do an event for it, and then management decided to cancel all of that because they think that being gay is a sin and that you shouldn't have pride in it. And some executive for CrossFit posted on Twitter about how proud he was of them for sticking up for their religious beliefs, and was fired in about a day.
Wow.
Look, he just
and the gym lost so many members that they had to fucking shut down.
Yep.
Wow.
The guy was the chief knowledge officer for the company, but he didn't know that there was a crossover between gay men and fitness. Somehow did not get that memo. But I guess he's learned his lesson. It's probably a setup so he can start his own line of Christian gyms with a whole bunch of Kickstarter money.
Wow. Let's do that.
We should do that.
I've always thought that you know how all the super hardcore conservative Patreons always get thousands and thousands of dollars. I was thinking maybe we could switch the focus of this podcast to be about politics and video games and RPGs and owning the left.
I think that's a great idea. And I can just I'll giggle more and agree with you. I think actually what would be better if I started out being like, I'm a feminist, and then every week you could change my mind and I'll be like, wow, you guys were right.
We'll just prove you wrong.
These rights that I have are just too silly.
I have too many choices. I can't make up my little mind.
Guys, I went to Target today and there were so many different kinds of laundry detergent. Can you tell me what to buy?
Is anyone ready for the quest log?
Sure.
I guess, do you want me to do this, or did Matthew want to do this?
I want you to do it.
Wow. Thanks, Vanessa. Thanks for the vote of confidence.
You did it last time. I like to have a little diversity. I told you before, I need at least 2 people doing different things and switching off roles to provide me with satisfaction in my life.
Okay. Well, Polly Vanessa, let's talk about Fable. Now, the first thing I want to note is I had a few pretty noticeable errors and glitches the past couple of times I played.
Oh, no.
Like, Whisper, when she showed up, her eyeballs were hollow, so you could see like the world behind her.
Oh,
and that
dear.
was terrifying.
Yeah.
And for the rest of that whole game, people's eyes were kind of about an inch too far back, so you could see the inside of their heads.
No.
I don't know. It was a little weird and super creepy.
Yeah, the character models are freaky enough already.
And this past time, today when I was playing the game, once it basically happened about one time per village or town I walked into, someone would be leaning at a 45-degree angle when I walked over to them and then just pop straight up eventually. That was pretty great. This game has some issues.
What version are you playing?
I am playing Fable Anniversary for the Xbox 360.
So am I, and I have had no such troubles. That's very interesting.
And it's updated to like the latest version too, so I don't know. Now, we talked a little bit about the brothel before. Did you mention that the brothel lady, so this is in the Darkwood, there's a brothel there, and the lady wants to find the deed to her place, because the current owner, Mr. Crude, is not respecting his staff.
We did not talk about that.
We mentioned it, but we didn't talk about it.
Because we could not go in before, but now that we have dropped those traders off, we are free to go and enjoy the generous labor of some sex workers.
Now, these sex workers seem to only be female, right?
Yeah, that's disappointing to me.
I haven't bedded anyone in this game, but I have made a man fall super in love with me.
Me too.
But have you explored this brothel quest? Is that something you can do now, or is that something later in the game?
I believe that you can do it now, and I have not actually completed it in my playthrough yet, but I know what needs to be done, so we could talk about it if you want to.
I
sure.
skipped it.
Oh.
Yeah, let's hear about it.
You want me to tell you about it?
Yeah, because I haven't done it yet.
Well, why don't we just wait until one of us has actually done it then?
Okay.
All right.
I'll try to do it next time. I'll investigate the brothel more.
I'll do it too. Some hot tips. If you want to make progress, you're going to have to partake. So choose
In the brothel?
Mm-hmm. So choose wisely.
There's no Dragon Age style hot dwarf men in this brothel, right?
No, there is a diversity of sex workers. There is a older woman who has a lot of experience. There is a dominatrix. There is a sort of a high class noblewoman type, and there's like the sweet farm girl type.
Now, did Grandia have a brothel?
Yes, but I didn't go there. But I remember one of you guys did. Probably Matt.
Oh,
What?
yeah, okay. I do vaguely remember. I don't think it was Matt, Vanessa. Right, yeah. Grandia did have a brothel. Phantasy Star 4 definitely had a brothel. Mass Effect has a brothel. What was the one we played? Did Bard's Tale have a brothel, or just all women kind of?
No, it just thought that all women were whores.
Right. Before Parasite Eve did not have a brothel.
No, because Parasite Eve is set in sort of 1990s, 1980s New York City, and sex work had moved to the back pages of the Village Voice by that point.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I saw a documentary called Eyes Wide Shut by Stanley Kubrick, and that seemed to imply there's lots going on.
Yeah, but you got to get that special invite, and on a policewoman's salary, she was never going to make the cut.
That's true. Did any of you do the Hobbs Cave quest?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about how you can accidentally smack that kid around, and it's not cool.
Oh, no.
I put remember I was telling you about the left trigger stuff?
Uh-huh.
How if you have that held down, which is basically the equivalent of Z targeting in Zelda.
Left trigger is what I always used.
If you do that, you can always injure people who are on your side, including with magic. If you let go of it, that magic will not harm people.
Amazing.
Just so you know. You can then throw spell, in a crowd that's a mix of NPCs and enemies, you can totally let your fireballs go and no one will get hurt, as long as you do not hold down left trigger.
This is very complicated.
Yeah, because it should be a different button, I think.
I don't know, because I used I used force push a lot.
Yep.
And that seemed to hit everybody no matter what.
Well, I tried it with fireball and with the one where you're charging with your shoulder and with inflame, and it did not, as long as you didn't have left trigger held down, it wouldn't hurt anyone.
Weird.
Yeah. I did experiments. And so this is a quest where you can go rescue this boy who has been lost in a cave, and his grandmother's missing this precious, wonderful boy who's always so nice and obedient and helps her out. And he's the only family that she has.
She lives in a lovely little cottage called Rose Cottage.
I once knew a guy who had a cottage that he called Rose Cottage, but it was just like a kind of crappy house that was in bad shape. And we went on a date, and he started throwing things at his roommate and screaming. And that was maybe one of the worst dates I've ever been on.
I remember you talked about that before. I don't know if on the podcast, but I remember this story. That's when you just left, right? And had to get a ride. You were out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. That was a terrifying date.
Yeah. If a dude you're on a date with starts yelling and throwing things, even if it's not at you, just leave. Also, if they're rude to the waiter, just leave. You don't have to stay there.
So we go to Rose Cottage. This lady seems very nice. Her young son is trapped in a cave where he likes exploring. She gives you the key to the cave, which he found, and you head out that way. And Matthew, the first thing that you find after you fight a couple of hobs is there's a locked door with someone screaming behind it to help him, and you can get in there and fight a whole bunch more hobs. And he will ask you to rescue him, and he is this bandit. And then he's like, hey, do you want to team up and we can find treasure together?
Yeah.
Did you team up?
I did, because he was a bandit, and I thought, this will work out pretty well, because he's a bandit. And then the minute we walked out, I accidentally killed him.
Oh, no. Left trigger. I found fighting the groups of hobs, I was getting so much magic experience by using the inflame magic that Vanessa was telling us about last episode.
Mm-hmm.
That is really useful. Thank you for the tip, Vanessa.
Oh, you're welcome. I also took the bandit with me. He did die. I don't think I did it. I think it was the hobs, but maybe it was me.
I did not take him, so he stayed upstairs.
I got the impression that if I had taken him and he had survived, I could have swapped him out for the boy.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think he was for swapsies.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a whole moral choice that all of us avoided because I didn't want to team up with a bandit and you two murdered him.
Manslaughtered at the very most.
Whatever. The thing
Right.
is, at the end of the day, I was going to want to kill everybody in that room anyway.
Yeah, of course. And so there's like a treasure room, and then the next chunk of the dungeon is a throne room with a lot of hobs. This game's throwing like 50 hobs at you per room.
They spawn. They don't usually spawn in area or respawn in areas, but in this one they just spawn and spawn and spawn and spawn and spawn.
Yeah, there's several waves as you go through. And so you get to the bottom of it, and there's like a lake at the bottom of this cave.
With a big roundy rock in it.
Yeah, what was that roundy rock all about?
You'll
I feel
find
like,
out.
Yeah, because there's another one in the Great Wood.
You'll find out.
I seen
Okay.
those randy rocks along, too.
Yeah. And there is a boy being held in a cage, like a magic-y blue glowing cage.
By a pixie, a tricksy pixie.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I'd
I
already
hate it.
fought, because I went to the Gray Manor. Did either of you go to the Gray Manor
Yeah.
by the Darkwood? And there was a few of those hanging out, and those things are jerks.
They're
They
terrible.
spawn hobs, and they laugh at you and then throw magic at you, so you have to like use your bow to kill them.
I got
They're-
the best bow in the game because I sacrificed a lot of people at the Temple of Scorn.
Oh, no.
So I didn't use it much because I found the bow combat to be kind of shitty, but for these things, it was really handy.
Yeah, you need good fast bow for these jerks, for sure.
Talk about this bow. From what I understand, the longer you hold it down, the more damage it does. So if you hold it down long enough, you can basically one-shot anything. Is this correct?
No, that is horseshit.
Every bow charges, like the more you hold it down until you feel it vibrate on the controller, it will do more damage.
Yeah.
It's usually not one shot unless they're weak enemies.
I thought this bow was a special bow.
It is a
Oh,
special bow. It's got like lightning damage and like piercing damage. It's like, it does a lot of damage and it would one-shot stuff like hobs or pixies, but it certainly didn't one-shot anything that had any decent stats.
Okay.
Maybe you weren't holding it down long enough.
No, because you can tell when you've held it down long enough because like a light flashes along it.
Oh, okay. Now, have you been using the augment slots on your regular weapons?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I made my sword be a flamey sword.
Yeah, flamey swords is good.
I
like
made a
that,
flamey lightning sword.
Yeah, I like that if you put multiple augments on there, it'll flash to through all the different colors. So you'll get like a burst of flame and then like a burst of silver and a burst of blue.
Pretty.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
it is. She's like, well, do you have, if you want, you can swap in someone else for the boy. Or you can, what was the other option? I think that was it. The only way to get him out was to swap another life for that of the boy.
Yeah, but I didn't believe that, so I tried shooting it in the head, and that did not make it very happy, but once I killed it, I did get the boy.
Yay!
Matt, did you go get someone?
I didn't know. Like I said, at the end of the day, I was going to kill everybody because that's what I do. I kill as many people as possible.
And you can kill the boy.
Yes, and I did accidentally kill the boy.
Oh, what happens then?
I reloaded it. No, it's if you're in the quest, it makes you reload.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
You don't get to go back to the grandma and be like, Hobbs killed him.
Nope.
I brought his corpse.
So you have to go all the way back through the cave, and now
She
there's
would have
way more
preferred that,
hobs.
trust me.
Oh.
There's so many more hobs on the way out. So what I found you can do in a couple of the zones is let the boy stay in the zone before, and then you can fight through and then come back. But the last zone, the entrance of the hob caves, you have to fight every time, so you do have to bring him with you.
Here's
I
what-
just ran.
Yeah,
I
that's
ran
the other thing
straight
you
through
can do.
there.
Just haul us
okay.
out of there.
I
They'll
wanted to get all
chase
that
you.
XP. There's so many XPs.
Yeah.
So I did that. I got all the XPs and I got all the treasure.
Nice.
Good job.
Big, strong boy.
And then did he tell you that his grandmother wasn't really his grandmother and beat him?
He said I thought she was his grandmother. He just hates her.
Yeah, he told me that it was her idea for him to go into the cave in the first place.
When you drop him off, he's like, well, he's like, I didn't even want to come back here, but I guess I need my stuff. So I followed him in, and he grabbed some stuff, and then he ran out, and then I killed his grandma.
Oh, you monster.
Fuck that. She was trying to kill her grandson. She got what she got.
She, in mine, he got his stuff, ran out, and she's like, where are you going? Why aren't you staying with me?
Come back. I'm so lonely.
Yeah, and of course, the way the procedural
Produceral
stuff works. So she ran away and she's like, oh, come back. And then immediately switched to, oh, hey.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Hooray for the hero.
Yeah, exactly. So she, at least, she's fine. She'll be fine. She recovers very quickly.
Yeah. She'll just get a new grandson, I'm sure. Maybe she can adopt a hob. They need some sort of firm touch in their life. They're really out of control.
Yeesh. I'm not firmly touching any hobs.
Oh. They're short and squat.
You're thinking of the orcs from Warcraft. I will firmly touch them.
Okay.
What about if they are a stuffed tiger? Would you touch them then?
Yeah.
Like in Calvin and Hobbes? Oh, I get it.
Yikes.
I didn't get it. Then I suddenly got it.
And your delightful laughter emphasized that point.
So what did we do after the Hob quest?
Oh, I did something special here.
Me too. You tell me what you did.
I opened the demon door that's at Rose Cottage.
Oh.
You saunter on up to this demon door, and the demon door says, I've been hurt before. I'll only open for someone who really loves me. And I did really love that door, so I so happened to have a beautiful red rose, and I thought red rose, Rose Cottage, demon door, romance. So I gave the demon door the rose, and he opened right up, just like a lady. Am I right, fellas? Hey, conservative cast, please send your money.
Owning the libs.
Gold diggers.
Oh, speaking of, this game kind of veers into that territory a couple of times.
Does it?
Well, just in terms of like the horrible woman the grandmother is.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And that guy who was like cheating on his wife, and then she's all outraged and gonna beat him or whatever.
Oh my, there's something else. Okay, well, so what's your reward for, before we get there, what was the reward for doing the demon door stuff?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I don't think anything that good.
I was walking around Bowerstone. I was like, I never really took the time to really explore this place, and I found the school.
Oh, yes.
And I talked to the guy, Mr. What was his name? Mr. Glob or Mr.
Something
Grubb?
like that.
Mr. Grubb. I talked to the teacher, Mr. Grubb, and he says, oh, if you happen to have any books, you could give them to us and we could help the students learn. And I did have some books. I gave him a book called, a book about friendship, and they could learn about friendship. And then I gave him a book on, I think it was called like the barman's, regrets or something.
Yes, I gave him that too. It was so good.
So they put on a little play from this book.
Really?
And yes, the children put on a play, and the play was about this barman whose wife kept cheating on him, and how he put a special poison on her tongue, and then a reactive poison in the drink. So anyone who had sex with her and also drank his beer would die.
And it has like this little child sprite, and he very sincerely recites what's going on.
It's pretty cool. I have another one that about how evil the guild is. It's called the Zeros Guild, and I want to save that for next episode. But this might be one of the more delightful little bonus things I've seen in a game. It's Matthew, I recommend going and finding as many books as you can.
And
it's
handing them
fun.
over. And I gave them quite a few books, and they gave me a hat.
Oh, was it a nice hat?
It was a nice hat. It was a bright wizard's hat, and they said, we had this for a play, but it doesn't fit the children, so you go ahead and have it.
Oh, well, that's nice. Mm-hmm. I also decided to eat as many pies as I could. And if you, map pies to your action, one of those mappable expressions, you can just keep tapping on it and eat all the pies, and you slowly watch them get fatter.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's great.
So maybe you can go, we didn't talk about it last time, but when you get to Barrowfield, there's a demon door there who demands, he laments the arrival of another skinny hero and says that he wants beefy, blubbery, plump, porcine.
I haven't gone there yet, but I'll have to go back and talk to this demon door.
Yeah. He wants a fatty, and he'll only open for one.
Yeah, he will.
Just like those ladies, am I right, fellas? Hey!
Whoa! Take that, libs. Welcome to the Cuck Shed. Air horn, air horn.
The world's first podcast by cucks for cucks.
No. I was saying the libs went to the Cuck Shed because they suck.
Oh, I thought that was our show, the Cuck Shed.
No. I was sentencing the libs to it. Sheesh. Stay with me here, Vanessa. We gotta get this Patreon money.
Hey, libs, welcome to a life of alternate sexual dynamics and exploration.
The Cuck Shed.
Yeah. Hope you're ready to throw off societal norms and define your relationship on your own terms, losers. Cuck Shed.
Keep that Patreon money flowing.
Mm-hmm.
So are we the cucks here, or the listeners, or the libs?
No, the libs.
Are the libs the
Matthew,
listeners?
No. Our listeners,
but the listeners
are the Patriots.
Are the cucks.
No, they're the Patriots. Fellow, you have to address them as Patriots.
Wait, but you're Canadian and some of our listeners are Canadian, so are they Canadian Patriots?
Or are they Canadian cucks?
But be very specific. They are not les patriotes from 1836, like Papineau and all that.
Vanessa.
We would not want to make that mistake. Yes,
Don't
ma'am?
historying at me again. I don't
I'm
fucking care about
sorry.
Canadian history. Jesus.
They don't really have any.
I'm a real American TM. I can't learn about that, or I'll be a cuck.
Here's Canadian history. They came over to the New World around the same time as the Americans, but they're like, we're too scared to have a revolution. So they waited 100 years, and they were like, may we please be a real country? And England was like, so long as you keep my picture on your dollar bills, you may be a real country.
And speak French for some reason.
Yeah. And the French were like, say no, you must speak French.
Didn't their President Macaroni just burn the White House down the other day or something?
Oh, Macaroni. Macaroni was super sweet to Trump's face, and so Trump thought that he was all into him. But then
the White House down.
As soon as Trump left and was like, hey, the U.S. isn't going to sign this stupid deal. I hate you all. Macaroni got all harsh. And then Trump was like, you backstabber. I thought we had something special.
Oh, did you see how the handshake Macron gave Trump that left indentations? Was that photoshopped or was that real?
No, I think it's real.
Yeah, but you think
our president is strong.
But you think Trump's skin probably discolors like that if a stiff breeze blows through.
You probably could do that to my hand pretty easily. I'm a sensitive, soft soy boy.
But Trump is sort of known for trying to do a power handshake, so I think that was the context of it. That
all right,
Macaroni was just like, no, thank you.
Now,
so is Trump the cuck in this discussion? I'm really confused about who the cucks are.
He's glorious. Now, Matthew, you know that there was an attack by the Americans in 1812 on York, which is now part of Toronto. And in retaliation, the British sent troops who were formerly stationed in Spain, landed in Acadia, down to the White House, and they did burn the White House down. So it was related to Canada, and there's a misconception in Canada that the Canadians burned down the White House, which most Canadians believe, but is technically not true if you're a spoil sport. So there's your history moment.
So then we go to Oakvale. Some stuff happens, and then I tried to kill everybody in a town.
Oh, gosh.
Oh. Did that work for you?
No. You get killed eventually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I haven't
the
tried
guards
mass murdering.
don't. If you start attacking people in town, you start getting attacked by guards, and you can kill those guards, but then more guards spawn, and harder guards spawn, and eventually really fucking hard guards spawn.
Oh, okay.
Sort of like a GTA kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
If you kill, say you got killed 20 villagers before you got killed by the guards, are they permanently dead?
Well, no, because you have to go back to the save before.
You do?
No, because the guards kill you and then
but say you killed 2 villagers and ran away, saved, and came back. Would they be dead?
I'm not 100%. I will say this. I multiple times went and murdered everybody in Barrow Fields. That kind of became my go-to, I need to kill a bunch of people place, because you can teleport right in. Yep. And they always got replaced, but were they the same people? I don't know. But if you hire those mercenaries and then sacrifice them to Scorm, where they're supposed to die, they will just respawn where you hired them. So you can do that over and over again.
Good to know. Now, the first person that came to talk to me was the owner of Rosie the teddy bear, that little girl from the village, but she's a woman now.
Mm-hmm.
Girl,
and she's like,
a woman
I remember you. I remember you from Oakvale. We thought you died in the attack. And then the camera goes dark and fires appear and you get flashbacks to the attack. He's got some PTSD about it, unfortunately, because he saw everyone get killed, like his dad and stuff. And she's like, well, I'm glad you survived. And Matthew, did she remember you?
Yeah, she did. She's so chatty. She's like, I moved to Bowerstone, but I didn't like it, so I came back. So I live here now. What are you doing? Where have you been? What's going on with you? Anyway, I have laundry to do today, and also I'm going to take a walk around the block, and blah, 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 blah. I'm a gold digger.
Oh, what?
What?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, of course. She is a woman.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
You guys are blowing it.
Oh, sorry. This is hard.
She take my money.
Our guys aren't going to give us money.
Did you give her teddy bear last time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why she still likes you. Because I guess if you didn't give her teddy bear, she or maybe you have to do that quest. I don't know. If
I thought you had to.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, Maze is also there, and who wants you to go talk to him, and he's like, hey, adventurer, your sister is at the Twinblades camp. And
yeah, he's like, she's alive. She lives with this bandit Twinblade. Probably you should go get her or whatever.
Now, he's gesturing. There's a ship at the harbor that he's sort of looking towards as he talks about going to the camp. That is not the ship you have to go on.
No, I was sure that I was supposed to get on that ship, and I spent a lot of time bouncing around next to it, being like, how do I get on this boat?
Because until you go back and take the quest, there is a cliffside pass, but you can't do anything there.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to go back to the Heroes Guild, take the quest, and then go back for... I think, is this the first Square Root stealth sequence? This can't be, right? We've had to have had we've had one in Final Fantasy 12 before. I hate stealth minigames.
I'm Captain Oakvale. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Well, yeah.
I typically don't mind a stealth sequence, but the stealth in this game did not work at all.
I figured out how to cheese this one. I'll give you guys some pointers. Go in and kill everybody.
Yeah.
And then go be close to the door, and then it'll respawn. They'll respawn out the door, and if you're just off to the side, they'll just run by you.
That's what I did.
That's basically what I did. I hid behind a rock, and then they went a different way, and then I just ran for the door. I tried a couple times to, like, sneak past, and it says, like, oh, push this sneak button, but they find you real fast. Like, there is no opportunity to sneak.
Well, it's like it's a stat, so if you haven't beefed it up.
I didn't beef it at all, because why would I? This is not a stealth game.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. And you don't need stealth to, like, steal stuff. You can just wait until nobody's around.
Now, I beefed up my stealth enough that it said, you can now use the steal command. How does that work?
It's not a command. It's an expression.
Yeah, and I did that.
I don't know what that's supposed to do.
It just, like, yeah, because I tried it next to someone and they, like, put an exclamation mark over their head and that's it. Does that mean they saw me? I don't know.
It sounds like you're a real cuck, though.
Sentence me to the cuck shed. Air horn, air horn. Now, the next, so once you get past this, so basically the thing is they close the door anytime there's an alarm. So you have to sneak past these guys to not trigger the alarm. And yeah, cheesing it works. So that's fine. The next area of the bandit camp is a long path full of enemies, and each section of the path has a part of a costume where you can look like a bandit.
Mm-hmm. And you overhear a couple of bandits talking, and they're like, oh, did you hear about Larry? He lost his bandit handkerchief, and he couldn't go in for weeks because you have to have the whole outfit.
Mm-hmm. And then I do like this cutscene because then they look towards you and you're looking there and you look away from yourself too, as if you're trying to look at what they're looking at. It's a good piece of animation. Yeah. Then they fight you.
Yeah.
So you have to fortunately there is every piece of the bandit gear on your way there, and you dress like a real, princess bride by the end.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? The five-fingered... No.
Captain Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah, that's
Captain Pirate.
Captain Pirate
Roberts.
Robert the Dreaded.
Mm-hmm.
Cut.
And once you dress like the Dread Pirate Roberts, you can get into the bandit camp where everyone is swarthy and in leather. I don't think there's any women in the bandit camp who are not in cages.
They sell some good armors in the bandit camp.
Oh, okay. That's
particularly
good.
if you want to be a bad guy, because, you know, there's a light version and a dark version of most stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they have dark chainmail and dark plate.
Ooh, I bought lots of bright chainmail, but there was a demon door there that wanted you to wear shining bright plate and like 3 other outfits, I think. So I'll have to go back there sometime.
That shit gets pricey.
Okay. Now, once you get let into the camp, you're in the basic part of the camp. There's a more advanced part of the camp that you need a pass to get into.
Oh.
And to get this pass, there are multiple ways to do it. You can pay someone 1,000 gold.
That's so much money.
Play a game with the games master and win.
Games is fun.
And is there another way, Matthew?
I don't know. I did the game master.
I imagine if you
too.
just like hack the guy who's guarding the thing, you can probably just walk through, but I didn't try that.
I won the game. The game was, this is maybe my favorite game. It's called What's the Addition?
Yeah, I liked it too.
It was a real spotty, findy game.
It took me a few tries, actually. It's hard at the end.
He shows you 4 objects, first 3 objects, and then adds 1, and you say, what's the new one? And then 4, and then 5, and then 6.
But the trick is that he sort of rotates them around and things, so
can you rotate the camera? I know you can in some of the games.
Oh, I wasn't sure. I didn't try that.
And there's like a minute-long timer, I think, too. And it's
for the whole game.
Yeah, for the total game. That's what fucked me up the first few times, is I was trying to be careful, and then I was like, oh, I'm out of time.
I'll tell you my tip and strategy for that in the mini game corner.
Yeah, and I'll tell you mine too. We'll see if it's the same thing.
Oh boy. Now, so after you secure your pass, you can go into the final leg of the camp.
Yeah, you're like multi-pass, sucker.
Multi-pass. You walk in there, and suddenly Twinblade and his guards are all looking at you, and they know it's you. Mm-hmm. You're not fooling anybody.
Nope.
And the reason he's been so what's the word? Paranoid is because I think the seer told him that the hero was coming to kill him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's the seer that Maze wants you to go see, who will tell you where your sister is.
Mm-hmm.
And so you fight Twinblade in sort of a arena
big
combat.
Old beefy dude with two big swords.
And
you
two
cannot
big arms for cuddling.
And you cannot hit him. You cannot hurt him from the front. You have to hit him in the behind.
It took me a couple of I didn't die, but it took me a couple of rounds to figure out his pattern.
Yeah, me too.
He takes his twin blades and tries to chop you up, and he tries to chop too hard and gets his sword stuck in the ground. And that's
an area of effect attack, so you have to back away from it. You can't dodge it.
But that's when you can roll up behind him and give him a few good smacks before he pulls them out again.
It was a fairly easy fight. I remember, actually, being stuck at this fight in the Xbox original version.
Interesting.
That's as far as I got. So so you beat him eventually, and he comes toppling down and just says, "Kill me!" And it has a cutscene of, I had an axe, so I was raising my axe to behead him. Mm-hmm. And then the seer walks out with her eyes bandaged.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Don't you recognize me, brother?"
Gasp!
It is your sister, Teresa. And then it goes to another sort of stained glass mural thing depicting Teresa she was found by the bandits, and they slashed her eyes because they wouldn't tell the raiders, because she wouldn't tell the raiders where her brother was.
Mm-hmm.
And they dumped her in the forest, and the bandits, specifically Twinblade, came to rescue her. And he raised her to be a vicious warrior. Even though she was blind, she can stab dudes in the face.
Mm-hmm, because she can always see them coming.
Yeah, with her special psychic-y powers and such. Or maybe she's like a daredevil.
Yeah, she's like a daredevil with extra psychic powers.
Yeah. Well, didn't the radioactive goo that the mutagen or whatever that sprayed on him give him some kind of like hearing echolocation power?
Yeah, he's got some sort of echolocation. It's been described various ways.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure what happened is it got on some turtles and it made them super big.
Yes, and that's why he's Daredevil, because he had touched a devil before the goo got on him. Mm-hmm. See, he saved a devil from getting hit by a truck.
Right, exactly. And then the rest went down the sewers, where some turtles were.
Mm-hmm. Boy, part of me is like, that actually sounds pretty funny and clever, and that part of me is like, but that definitely has been done somewhere, right? It definitely has.
That the Daredevil accident was the same accident that created the turtles. Well, it has to be.
Hang on, this does tie together, because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a parody of the Frank Miller era of Daredevil, where he was always fighting ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
Stick and foot. Like the stick was Splinter, and foot was Hand.
I bet that's what that is. I bet if you go back and look at it, it is like, I bet that the ooze is originally supposed to be like, haha, remember when Daredevil lost his sight? It all went down the sewer.
Okay. Well, that's great.
It makes perfect sense, and I love it. This was also the accident that created Alex Mack, the girl who can turn into a puddle.
Oh, no.
Well, and also this ooze got in the water, and that's why there's so many cucks in America today. And am I right, brothers?
That ooze is in every bottle of soy milk, you stupid, sad soy boys. Now, let's move on to
Twinblade.
So Twinblade, after your sister comes back and she's got her Daredevil powers, you can kill Twinblade, or you can leave him alive. I assume Matthew murderized him.
I sure did. It was a tough one because he is a bandit, and also he saved my sister, and I didn't want to kill him.
And he's cute.
I felt kind of bad about it. He's real cute. I felt kind of bad about it.
He saved her for to be a slave for him, though.
I don't know.
Yeah,
she didn't make it seem like she was a slave. She made it seem like he was like a caring figure.
Well,
it was one of
she
those things
started as a slave, and then he found out that she was valuable.
But anytime someone insulted her presence, he or she would kill them.
Yeah, I think it was very much a Star-Lord and what's his name, Mary Poppins kind of situation, where he was always
with the fin?
Yeah, he was always saying, "I'm going to eat you." It's sort of emotionally manipulative, but he cared in his own way.
But then I was like, but what if I kill him and then they make me the king of the bandits? And also, I should kill him. So I did. I gave him a good chop.
And did they make you king of the bandits?
No.
Oh.
Do you get his head at least?
You get the sword. You get the same thing you get if you don't kill him, I'm sure.
You get a shield to show people.
I never did any of that.
I figured it out eventually. It's kind of a really weird minigame.
It's a really bullshit minigame.
It makes no difference.
No, you just get more renown. But
yeah, but you're going to get a lot of that anyway.
Yeah.
Just by playing the game.
There's a couple of points where all the NPCs are in one location where it actually is useful to bring out all your trophies, and you can get tons of renown right away. But if they're spread around a large map, it's not really worth it. You get tons of renown anyways from just doing quests. Vanessa, did you kill Twinblade?
Of course not.
You guys are so boring.
Okay, Vanessa, explain this, because he is a bandit.
Mm-hmm.
That is capturing people. Like, one of the ways to distract the guards in the final chunker was that there was these hostage ladies.
Oh, yeah. He had rape
We
slips.
forgot about that. Yeah, he had, and they were there to be used.
Yes.
Which is awful.
Yeah.
And I thought that's when I tried using the steal command to steal the key from the guy, and I couldn't. I tried it for like 5 minutes and just fed up and just killed him.
Yeah, it works if you kill him.
I killed him and I let them out and they ran away, and then everyone was like, after them.
Yeah. I felt uncomfortable with safely. That resolution.
Yeah, I'm like, really, I should be escorting these women out, not just being like, please provide a distraction for me.
Yeah. So he's not a good guy, and he's going to continue being bad. Although he says either way he's not going to be king.
Yeah,
because
he says
he
that
got defeated.
He actually, I think, said he's dead either way. So I believe that he was implying that his bandit cronies would kill him off for his weakness or something. However,
probably
later in the game, and this is a spoiler for far in, but I'm just gonna drop this bomb. Some assassins came after me, and they were apparently hired by Twinblade in retribution for his horrible defeat.
Interesting, because when they came after me, it was because I had killed Twinblade.
Oh.
Well, I guess it's one way or the other then.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't think that was very cool, because, I spared you, dude.
Do you regret sparing him?
No.
So what happens with the sister now? Because she kind of disappears, right?
Yeah, she's just like, nice to see you, bye.
Yeah.
Oh, she says there's one more present I have to give you. And I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, no, she gives you, your family, she, unlocks your family power. And as far as I could tell, it was nothing. There was nothing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I don't know I guess it's going to come back. Does it come back in the game?
It must.
Oh, okay. I guess to be continued on that one, because as soon as you do that, you get quests for the next chunk, where you go to see Maze up in the guild tower.
Mm-hmm.
And he explains that you need to be noticed in the arena out on this island, and to get there you have to go through the Witchwood. But before you do that, he asks the Witchwood.
Who?
You do.
Who do?
Do what?
Power of the babe.
I saw my baby crying hard as baby could cry. What could I do? My baby's overgone.
I actually don't know the rest of the verse of this song.
Baby blue. Nobody knew what kind of magic words
fail to use
frogs
slime
and
or
snails, puppy dog tails, thunder or lightning.
And Baby said, what happens next, John?
Dance magic, dance magic, dance magic.
I don't know this song. I mean, I know that first
Put
part.
that
I don't
baby
remember.
spell
I'll have to
on
watch it
me.
again.
Slap
Watch
that baby,
anyway.
set him free.
Over and over and over again until every word is burned into your soul.
I could sing that song for the rest of this show. Can we cancel Square Roots and just have Magic Dance Podcast where we just sing it to each other?
Now, he asked you to find this archaeologist first before going to the arena. So he opens up a new, what are they called again? Cullis Gate, which I forgot about last time, but I remember this time is the name for those magic teleporters. And you get to the Witchwood. And that, my friends, is the end of this quest log.
Ooh.
Now, next time,
dance magic,
we will play until you get to the arena, which doesn't seem like a lot of gameplay, but we might figure, we'll see.
The arena's a good chunk. Have you done the arena?
Okay, I have not.
No, let's play through the arena.
Yeah, through the end of
Okay.
the arena.
We'll play through the end of the arena. That sounds good to me. Now, before we get to Squarely Against, I'd like to do some mini-game corners because I decided to play every mini-game I could find.
And after
Yay.
that, we'll do Matt and Vanessa's new corner, Dance Magic.
All right. I am fine with that. So, the first one you get is card matching, like where you have 12 cards and you have to find all 6 pairs. And I hate that game, and I'm very bad at it.
I'm bad at it too. I haven't been able to win once, and I have a good memory and all.
They do not give you very much time at all.
No, and it's very difficult to kind of move the thing around with your joystick to the correct card. If it was a
Right.
point-and-click mouse game, I think it would be pretty easy.
And there's a whole animation time to flipping them over and stuff too. And now the other, there's another one, which is Blackjack,
Yep.
and it's Blackjack. I
what
won
it
that.
says on the tin.
I did win at Blackjack. The next pub game you can play is, I think it's called Coin Golf.
Yeah.
Did you play? That one's pretty fun. It's hard though.
It
It's
is
really
hard.
hard. And that is the one where you are flicking a coin around a course and you have to meet the par. And the par is the combined total of all 4 courses.
And you cannot flick it off the edge of the table.
Or you lose. Matthew, did you play that one? That one's
I
pretty
didn't
fun.
play any of these games.
I think that one's in Oakville.
I don't
golf
care
one.
for mini games.
Okay. The one in the bandit camp is the matchy game, and which we talked about before. Now my secret, actually let's hear Vanessa's. What's your strategy for winning that one?
Oh, okay. My secret to winning the matchy game is when he lifts up the plate to show you the objects, I say them either out loud or in my head and just name them so that when the plate goes back down and he lifts up again, I can look at the item and be like, boots, grave, baby, or whatever I call them. And if it's not a boots, a grave, or a baby, I know it is the new item.
Yeah,
What
that's
is
exactly
your
how I did it.
strategy, John?
That is my same strategy.
Oh,
So yes, that's the way to do it. And the last thing is I played a bit more fishing. I found a couple of silver keys that way. I haven't found many fish.
I found some good fish. After you fish up the spot where the bubbly is, you can fish again and get a fish.
Oh, okay. I see. I also did, before I forget, I finished the 2 quests. The one about the man
of magic spell to
the man with the daughter he wanted to set you up with if you get the right fish in
Oh,
there.
yes. Talk to me about that one. I'm very excited about this quest.
So I finally got, at first I got the hairstyle he wanted, and he's like, that's perfect, but I want a different beard. I wanted mutton chops. So I got the mutton chops. He's like, well, that's fantastic, but he also had a very silly mustache.
Oh.
So I went and got the mustache, and then I got back, and he's like, well, I know I hate it, and my daughter would hate it too if she were real, but she's not. I just hate adventurers and wanted to make fun of them.
Oh,
and then you walk through the town and everyone laughs at you.
How terrible.
And it took me, I had to go like sleep at the inn, which it took me a while to figure out how to do that. You have to go upstairs and then click on a bed.
Uh-huh.
That's how you sleep at the inn. And finally the next day I could get some cool facial hair, which I'm happy with.
That is a terrible prank to play. You thought that you were on your way to finding love, and he was just like, no.
I quickly, as soon as he started laughing at me, I pulled the left trigger and punched his face in. And he ran away saying, pick on someone your own size. I hated that guy.
That is pretty amazing. Did you get a fine for doing that?
I did not.
Wow. I guess it was justifiable.
Yeah. And I also did the witch quest. I got all those 4 mushrooms, gave it to the witch, and she's like, oh, actually, I already had one of these. I totally forgot, but I'm just going to save these mushrooms for later. Wink.
Mm-hmm. She had the antidote all along.
Wink. I don't think the mushrooms were necessary for the antidote at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think she just wanted us to collect drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a girl. Did we talk about? Oh yeah, part of this quest is there's a girl in Oakvale who this guy at the Guild Woods really likes, and he sends you a letter and says, "Don't say it's from you, say it's from me." Mm-hmm. So you get the option to say it's from you. Matthew,
I said it was from me.
And did she fall in love with you?
She did.
But you don't get the mushroom, I guess, right?
I don't give a shit about that. That kid can die.
You can claim that it's from you, but I did not. And
she gives you a letter back, but I didn't know what to do with it, so I just kind of did nothing.
Oh, I went to the Guild Woods and gave it back to the guy.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to do that.
Oh, well, I did that, and then he gave me the mushroom. So I was like, that's cool. And I went to, I got the mushroom and I got the kid cool. That was good. I also there's one more quest you can do before you go to Witchwood, where you can either kill a bunch of traitors in the Twinblade camp, or you can rescue a bunch of traitors in the Twinblade camp.
Yeah, I saved them.
I saved them too. Matthew, did you kill all the traitors?
I don't remember there being an option to kill them. I did a quest where I saved a bunch of traitors in the Witchwood camp.
There's two quests.
Twinblade camp.
One is there's one kill them and one save them.
Yeah,
well, I think it's kill the traders and guards in the barrow fields, which Matt has already confessed to having done.
Yeah, I did that a couple of times. That was fun.
Okay. Yeah, it was
a good way to
fun.
Test my strength to see if I could kill enough guards that they would stop coming. And newsflash, eventually, I could.
Nice.
Yay! Now, that's it. That's for all the quests I did. Now, back to Matthew and Vanessa's corner. What was it again? You're gonna see who's the biggest cuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the cuck shed. So,
biggest
Vanessa,
cuck corner.
This week, I let 1,000,000 men have sex with my lady.
No, Matthew, no.
Wait, no.
We do not allow different kinds of sex styles here. You can only have virginal wives.
Missionary only.
This week, I believed that women should have rights equal to men.
Whoa, no. Vanessa,
get in the cook shed.
I win again.
What are you squarely against?
Oh, what am I squarely against? You know what? I'm roundly for the fishing minigame. It's pretty good. I like it.
I hate it.
I like to have a fishing minigame. I think every game should have one. And I like to get me them big floppy fish.
I keep snapping the line.
Well, get better. Matt, what are you squarely against?
I don't really have much. I like this game. I'm roundly for playing this game. It was fun. I like the Twinblade camp thing. I thought it was pretty good. That's all I have to say. John, what are you squarely against?
I'm squarely against this game being kind of glitchy. But I'm roundly for the combat. I think the combat's really fun. I'm getting better at it, and definitely the moment to moment stuff of this game is enjoyable, even if it has some pretty rough edges.
It does have, if you're good at the combat, you're rewarded for it as a player, unlike the turn-based combat games that we play where it doesn't really matter. You just select what you're going to do.
And I am very roundly for the school plays.
Yes.
I can't wait to find more books. This is... I didn't find this last time, and this is delightful.
They are indeed delightful.
I guess that's it for Squarely Against. So, listeners, before we go, please send us an email. If you if you would please send us an email. We're so lonely. It is squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd rather not send us an email because you're too cool, why don't you come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast group for smart, cool, very attractive people, or you can tweet Vanessa at Square Roots Pod. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm on the Twitter. Hey, I go on there sometimes.
I saw her on the Twitter yesterday.
That's right. I made a great tweet.
Our intro music for this series is the One Nils's cover of the Oakvale theme, and our outro is Metal Lewis's cover of the Fable Anniversary theme. Check out the One Nils and Metal Lewis on Patreon and YouTube. Links are in the show notes.
Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you screenshot your review and post in the Facebook group or Twitter, I'll tell you how you leveled up. Patriots.
John, could you do us a big favor and read a list of the patriots that have been funding this podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
These people can go ahead and write down in their notebook that they are definitely not cucks.
You know who is not a cuck? Sam Harrison, Devin Sloan, Cody Schwerin, James Plett, Greg Bailey, Race Jenkins, Joseph A. Rogers.
I see what you're doing there,
Rob
Vanessa.
Schubert, Stuart Skeel, Xavier Krieger, David Shook, Matthew Jorgensen, Vanessa's mom, Kiva Moser, Samu Mitchell, Andrew Wyant, Brian Stone, Aaron Bachman, Robert M. Pullum, Stan, Tracy Tanoff, Josh Anderson, Robert T., Ross Hartley, Tyler Petty, Brody Toy, Justin Ham, Bree Girth, Meredith Anderson, Brian Pitt, Ward Childress, Patrick Coover, Wonder Swan, Miguel Torres, Resty Kamada, Tom, Lynn Setchell, Justin Benoit, Cameron Show, Cyril the Wolf.
Wow. Now, take a week to recover your voice from that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody. For the Square Roots Podcast, I am Matthew Van Zant.
I am John Brandon. Vanessa, do you want to pretend to be Jim Banks?
Sure. Hi guys, I'm Jim Banks.
Hi-ly ho, neighborito. I'm Jimothy Banks.
It looks like I could be on the podcast again, guys. I'll see you later. Pushing up my glasses.
John made me go to the cuck shed.
I painted it pink.
All right, so who are you?
I'm Jim Banks, and I'm in
No.
Oh, for reals?
Yeah.
I'm Vanessa. Bye.
Bye. You remind me of the babe. What babe? The babe with the power. What power?
I only live under a desk.
Last time on Square Roots, our hero's rivalry with Whisper heats up. Some traders cool off in the dark woods, and we all feel lukewarm about fishing. Will this week's adventure be sizzling hot, or will our game freeze up? Stay tuned for Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast.
Brought to you by Filofax.
Filofax. When you need to fax dough, go with Philo. Filofax.
Can I just say that it's really impressive how you come up with those right before we record every single time?
Because every week I forget to do it until we sit down to record. And I'm already recording and I'm like, oh shit. The one thing I have to prepare every week and I forget to do it.
Level up.
Well, everyone has Ocean's 8 fever. I have not seen it, but
Oh, are you? Is it a record issue or something?
No, it looks like we're doing Final Fantasy VI next.
oh, come on!
I'll just cut it. He'll cut it.
Interrupting my level up for your little tantrum about Final Fantasy VI. Everybody always interrupts Vanessa. I'm starting over.